Good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels. Before we get started this morning, just a few things. As always, folks, everything that we go over on this channel can always be found in the description box. Included this morning, as in every morning, will be the video that kicked off these bunches of videos in regards to the JRC and the Change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. Now, this morning we are going back once again to the JRC, and this is in the aftermath, folks, of what happened on July the 7th when a DC Circuit Court judge decided against the ban the FDA put in place for the GED painful skin shock devices. So this came out after that horrific news. This is some of what's been going on with the Stop the Shock hashtag that has sprung back to life again after months of me trying to get it going again. Within just the last few days, we're going to go over some of the things some of the people have said and also some resources that people have been generating over the last 3 or 4 days. Now, warning, real quick, folks. When we are talking about the JRC, you will hear vivid descriptions, as well as sometimes, on occasion, see actual video footage of the torture and abuse of people with disabilities. If you have young ones present, please, when you watch these videos, use your headphones. Also, if I stumble, like I just did, over any of my words here this morning, it is 5:21 stupid o'clock a.m. in the morning, so I ask for your forgiveness in advance. Alright, folks, so here we go. First is coming from a blue tick by the name of Steve Silberman. So, let's go over his tweet real quick. He said, more on Stop the Shock. When I was researching neurotribes, he wrote the book called Neurotribes. Excellent read, please read it. I spoke with a psychotherapist who had visited the Judge Rotenberg Center with an open mind. He asked to experience the GED shock device himself, and this is his reaction. The JRC staff called it an anomalous response. So let's read. Said, I felt the drama of the moment, and despite my nerves, I savored it. All eyes were on me, and I was pretty confident I could handle it just fine. The little macho teenage part of me could picture my bragging rights later. I strapped the electrode to my arm, took the remote control, took a deep breath, and pressed the button. I wasn't expecting much. Well, Jesus Christ, I was wrong. It was absolutely and utterly horrible. The pain was overwhelming and intense, and my mouth screwed itself up into the most awful and involuntary grimace, and I felt like I was being completely electrocuted. If I had been any worse, I probably would have screamed, if I had been able. I think my vocal cords were too tight to do anything. Those 2 seconds felt like an utter eternity, and when it was over and the electricity was suddenly gone from my body, I was overcome with the most incredible relief imaginable. A relief that was almost orgasmic, if not better. And I'm not being hyperbolic. So, you know how the JRC has their defense that it feels like a small bee sting, right? Wrong. Listen to what this guy said. He tried out the device, and it was incredibly horrific. Now imagine having that be done to you 31 times. But anyways, I digress. There is Imami Barbarian. She is one of our disability rights advocates, and she released this on TikTok.
People hate disabled people. other than to say that there's an entire group or lobby of people who find it too difficult not to electroshock children. They find it too difficult to have disabled people, autistic people, existing as they are. There's an entire lobby of people whose greatest desire in life is to reinstate electroshock therapy for children. Let that sink into you, okay? And before you parents of disabled kids saying it's worth it, if I can interact with my, who are you centering in your child's health? Them or you? Because none of this is necessary. None of it. Overturn the ban.
Right? So that's a little bit of about what we've been talking about and going over. Now we have some helpful threads for those folks who are not as familiar about this. I'm pulling up one now. Okay. So this is Ram J. Said that today a court ruling struck down a regulation on a torture device used on autistic people. This, what we've all been talking about, is the graduated electronic decollator, which is a shock device used to correct autistic behaviors. This is a torture device. They have been used in combination with a board of wood to strap a person down and shock them repeatedly without moving. The device was made popular by its use in the Judge Rotenberg Center, a behavioral center famous for its long history of abuse, torture, and mistreatment of mentally disabled people. Though the FDA ruled in 2020 that the GED was to be banned, it's still used in the JRC. Today, the court struck down a regulation that would have banned the use of the GED on autistic people in JRC. There was a loophole in the wording of the regulation, and now the fight to stop the shock is back at square one. We must ban the GED and similar devices. How you can help. Sign the petition to support the ban on GED and any other torture against autistic people and the disabled community. Now, this is ASAN, and they here have a petition to ban dangerous restraint and seclusion. This has been one of their petitions that they've had up for a while. A little bit later this afternoon, probably when I get off work, I'm going to kind of make a master list of all of these petitions we have out there. Some of the templates we're going to be taking a look at this morning, things that you can send off to your senators, information that can be spread throughout the UK, Europe, and all other places across the world, because the UN is involved, which means this is on an international stage, and we need international pressure. Okay. You can also help by spreading posts like this and making sure we are not ignored. So, here is one of the pages, autisticadvocacy.org. And here is what's happening at the Judge Rotenberg Center. What can I do to stop it? It gives links. It goes over information. This is great to be spreading around the web right now so that people can understand what's going on and what are some action steps that they can take. Okay, let's go back here. I'm going to go back to this main thread. Gris has also got some threads and resources and helpful information. They got the Ram J's list in there. Arlo has some useful resources. Follow some of these groups, folks. Autistic Advocacy, ASAN, the International Disability Rights Group. They're on druid.org, druid.org. One of the best things to do, folks, is just inform yourself. Watch these videos, and every single one of these videos that I do on the JRC, in every description box, there is always a link to the information that I present on this channel. So pull up those links. Don't just watch the videos, pull up those links, because that's going to give you the information and ammo that you need. So, what am I telling you here? First of all, if you are on Twitter, I want you to go right now to your search button, type in Stop the Shock, and follow that hashtag. This is going to be one of the best ways for you to get involved, because then you are going to be made aware every time something is posted that you will be able to use in order to assist us, not with just retweeting, but in also getting the word out, how to get in contact with your representatives, how to send out letters. There's useful scripts for those of you who are not so used to. Oh my God, I'm way too used to it. But anyways, for those who are not so used to calling out to your senators and your Congress people's office, these provide basically script templates, basically all the important information to be speaking about and going over and showing your concern. So, guys, if you're not, please follow this hashtag. There's a lot of important information you'll find on it. Also, one of the other avenues of information is going to be with Facebook under the same hashtag, Stop the Shock. We also, a lot of us have YouTube channels. Most of y'all are familiar with mine, but also Jennifer Masumba has a Facebook. Greg Miller, the former JRC employee who exposed all this ugliness, he also has a YouTube channel. Many autistics have spoken openly against the JRC. Please go on YouTube, just search Judge Rotenberg Center hashtag. You're going to see a bunch of information pop up. There is a master history on, God, I hate to say Wikipedia. I really do. But they did a pretty good job in compiling the information about this place. So, that's another good place to go. And search back. Just get on to Google. There's been articles about this place for years that can give you vital information. So, I wanted to do something this morning where I could give you more than just the anger, more than just the sadness and the pain that is coming out of the autistic community and coming out of me. I wanted to give you something so that you can assist us in using your voice and help us do something about it. We've been going it alone for well over a decade, some of us multiple decades, and we have barely made a dent. We've got to have you guys, people who are not as familiar with this, people who are not in the disability community, not in the neurodiversity rights movement, just regular people. We need you guys. We need your voice. We need you to stand with us, put your foot down, and say, this is wrong. We need your help. Because, as you notice, we got it trending on Twitter. But do you see it everywhere in the national news like it should be? No. We have social media outlets right now trying to get this information out. So please help us in any way that you can. Blog about it. If you're a YouTuber, do a video on it. Whatever you can. All right, folks. That's all I got for right now. Before we close out this morning, as always, we don't get very many views on this channel, especially about this very extremely important topic. So, for the algorithm, guys, please, I mean this now more than I ever have. Don't forget to hit the like button. Hit the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. And share. Share on all your social media platforms that you are involved with. I do appreciate your time this morning. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.